Today, as our speaker today, I'm going to have the wonderful Debbie Harris come in and speak today. Now, I've known Debbie for well over a year. It's some crazy group that I catch up with. That crazy because it's like 10 o'clock on a Friday night for me, and I'm a 4 o'clock in the morning riser. And so over the course of the week, by 10 o'clock on Friday, it's kind of late. But there is a secret to going networking at 10 o'clock at night. You go to bed at 7 or 8. You leave the lights on and you set 5 alarms for about 9:30. And then when they go off and you open your eyes, you think the sun is up and it's daylight and you've missed a couple of things and you suddenly jump out of bed. And then, of course, you've got another 20 minutes to look good before you come on in. So that's how I do it. That's how I always look alive. I just sleep beforehand. But Debbie's a weight loss queen. And what I like most about Debbie, actually, there's many things I like about Debbie. She reminds me of, for those who know, Caroline Williams. When I chat to Debbie, it's like talking to Caroline Williams. So we've got she's so much fun to talk to. But I'll tell you what I really, really love about Debbie, right? I'm going to read it for you so you can't see that I'm reading it, but I'm just going to a different screen here. It's her signature block. In the bottom of her signature block, it says this. Now, weight loss queen, right? So here we go. Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in an attractive and well-preserved body, but rather a skid in sideways, champagne in one hand, chocolate, there we go, in the other, chocolate in the other, and a body thoroughly used up, totally worn out and screaming, woo, what a ride. I think that pretty much embodies who Debbie is. So with that, Debbie, you've got up to 8 minutes to tell us about what it is that you do. You don't have to take that long. I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna say, give us your elevator pitch again, and then your history of how this came about. And that won't take very long. And then we're going to just ask questions of you, okay, and drag out of you what we want to know about you rather than you tell us what you think we want to know. With that, I'll let you take it away.
Okay. So are you ready?
Yep.
I'm Debbie Harris. I'm the co-founder of Maynestreet Weight Loss. We are helping men and women, my husband and I am focusing on menopausal women. It took me a very long time. The fat kid in school, all through school, dieting on and off all my life, all this, many of you have heard this story, lived this story. I finally found the secret: no drugs, no chemicals, no weird diet plans, no weird foods. And it works. If people stick to it, it works. And it's amazing what the body does when it has an opportunity to eat the right foods, drink the right amount of water, cut out certain things now and then. And we teach everybody to live an 80-20 lifestyle, meaning, yes, that chocolate is included, because we have to live. And whether it's to have the cocktail or to go on vacation or to eat the birthday cake or the cultural meal that we have at a holiday, whatever it might be, we are so wrapped up in food, and there's so much that goes on up here. Now, speaking to the women, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, it was the first time in my life I could not take the weight off, no matter what I did. And this set me on a journey to really discover and to really learn to become an integrative nutrition health coach. I've been a certified hypnotist for about 23 years to really learn about food, about movement, and about balancing the stress hormones, about what exercise was good, what exercise was counterproductive. And that's how this all came about. Just my own personal experience, taking off about 45, 46 pounds, keeping it off now for over 3 years, going through breast cancer during that time, and just really understanding that I no longer had to be obsessed about food. And that's what I do. That's what I'm passionate about. There are so many women I talk to every day who are being handed pills by doctors, who are being told, well, it's menopause. I mean, what are you going to do? There are ways to make it better, and there are ways to make it fun. And what I'm doing now is putting 2 groups together of 10 women each, so we can all help each other. understand what's going on and use our own experiences, our own knowledge, our own screw ups to make it better for everybody else. So I had no idea I was going to be saying anything. And Misty does look great on those Friday calls, by the way.
I'm in my pajamas.
I know she's in her PJs, and I know she's probably had 9 cups of coffee before the thing
No,
goes
I
on.
don't drink coffee. I don't drink
Okay,
coffee.
she doesn't drink.
I'm
She
too
doesn't
young to
need
drink
it.
coffee. It's all about the chocolate for me. That's it. It's all about the chocolate.
And there you go. It's all about the chocolate and the caffeines. Does anyone have any questions? Is there anything I
Yep,
can
we're going to
answer?
go out for questions for you, Debbie. So thank you so much for being allowing us to throw you under the bus today. So let's jump in. Who's got some questions for Debbie? All right, I have one. How much does it cost? Right, so if we're heading towards menopause and we're putting on this weight and we're having difficulty and we're crying all the time. What does it cost to get help from you, Debbie?
It costs right now $3,700 for a 6-month program. And that includes, so I have to put a caveat. Thank you, Misty. For those people in the US, there is one program. For those people outside the US, there is another program that came about because of a woman in South Africa I spoke to yesterday. I said, you know, because we have vitamins and we have homeopathic drops. And I said to her, she said, hey, I'm your target market. I said, listen, I cannot legally send these things outside the US. And she said, well, who cares? Just tell us what we have to get. You can't leave us out. There's a whole audience of global women who need your help. So that's what it costs right now. It's $1,100 off the usual price. And I'm willing to talk to anybody who'd like more information.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank
Who
you.
else has a question for Debbie? How?
So
That's all right. No, it's because we're thinking, right? Yeah, there you go, Adrienne.
Yeah, hi Debbie. Just a question, Debbie. With the people you work with, I know you work on menopausal, but how much of it is around the emotional component that you work with your clients?
A lot of it. And that's why I want to have the women work in groups now, because so much of it is tied to upbringing, is tied to triggers, is tied to stress. Exactly. And that's the case with everybody with food. We've all heard things growing up, you know, somebody's starving somewhere, so finish what's on your plate, and you're not going to be able to have dessert unless you finish what's on everything. And then the other thing is we have cultural traditions, and a lot of the food that is culturally traditional is not the most healthy food in the world, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't eat it. It doesn't mean we shouldn't have that emotional experience, because if I tell somebody you can never have that, Misty, you can never have chocolate.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen to you.
The subconscious is immediately going to negate that. There are no nevers. I mean, unless you're allergic to something, there are no nevers. You learn what works for you. Everybody is different.
It's amazing how much people are allergic to things, but they just work out a way around it if they like it that much. You just work it out,
Well,
right?
Yeah, there's sensitive and there's allergic.
Oh yeah. I mean, allergic is, you know, a trip to the hospital and your throat's closed up and all that other stuff. It's still amazing how much, like, let's take my mum and my sister, right? Both had gastric band surgery, and you know, they're not allowed to eat bread and they're not allowed to eat these other things, but they're not allowed to have anything that's got soft drink in it. But they work out loopholes. You know, if we just flatten the soft drink, we can still have you know, a brandy and dry. All we have to do is just put lots of ice in it, so there's no gas bubbles in it. And I'm going, I think that kind of defeats the purpose, right? McDonald's, they still worked out how to eat McDonald's. They go in, they get a bacon and egg McMuffin, but here's how they do it, right? Bacon and egg McMuffin, and then they sit there and they say, right, now I need the cheese between the egg and the bacon, so that then it's melted together. And then when they get it, they just throw out the muffin and they eat the stuff in the middle. Like, but they work out how they can feel like they're still doing all this stuff because they're not allowed, right? It's crazy. You know, the other side that I find the problem with food, losing weight and stuff like that, Debbie, is it's delicious. Who's found that? Food just
Well,
tends to be delicious. And if you go
But-
back to the original day,
Missy, so you would be amazed how delicious a strawberry tastes if you haven't been having sugar in a lot of other things. And I don't know if the time's up. I know there's other questions. Guys, my information is in there. There's also a link to set up a Zoom with me. I truly am happy to talk to anybody who would like more information or just
no, time's
ask
not
me
up
more
yet.
questions.
Stuart's got his hand up. I saw Fiona with her hand up. That was
Okay, who's got a
someone else.
question? Go ahead.
That's all right. Go,
Ask
Stuart.
me a question.
Hey there. Well, look, from what I'm aware that there's a thing called menopause. No, I'm joking. I know that, look, actually, even men go through issues as well, around about the time as well. And so, and from actually, I was presented with a whole bunch of different vitamins and supplements, and I was working with somebody here in Australia, and it's quite amazing. As part of that process, you could certainly do something in overseas as well. And get people to go through potentially the blood test, to go through and work out what's going on. Notoriously, the clinician who went through my process said, I've never seen anybody with less vitamin D. So I won. So there you go. It's quite amazing. So just simply finding out those supplements. And so that's the thing I was going to ask. Do you go through a blood test process as well to identify those missing elements?
No, we do not. We tell our clients to work closely with their doctors or their naturopaths, and I have recommended a couple of naturopaths to clients who say, well, I don't have one, and I don't really want to deal with my medical doctor because they're not helping me. So, and vitamin D, by the way, Stuart, in the United States is one of the nutrients that so many people are missing in their diet. So thank you for bringing that up because that is very important. We encourage everybody to go and get it checked out. We supply everybody the information if they want to show it to whoever they want to show it to. But 90% of the program is what you're eating and not eating over the course of time, and the emotional stuff, as Adrienne brought up, that's key to it all. So yes, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, Stuart, you're a tech guy. So you're lacking in vitamin D, dude. You've got to get some sunshine as well as the vitamins.
There's no sunshine in front of my laptop. I'm sorry.
I know, right? In that dark.
And then if I go in the sunshine and put the glare on my laptop, no, it just can't happen.
I
Vitamin
know,
D
and that's the problem, right? I know, because I'm looking at Fiona thinking the same thing. Fiona, what's your question?
Agree with the vitamin D deficiency. Debbie, before people work with you, what's the weirdest food you've had people eating, hoping that it would help them drop fat?
Oh my goodness. I don't know that I've had weird food, but I've had people who have had surgery. I've had people who have done a lot of the current drugs that are fashionable, people who have done keto, people who have just had shakes for months on end. Look, I tried everything when I was younger. I did the Beverly Hills diet for 2 weeks. You ate nothing for 2 weeks but fruit. And I remember sitting in my boyfriend's house on East 65th Street, for those of you on First Avenue, eating half a watermelon for dinner. And I say to people, how is that freaking sustainable? Am I going to go out with my friends and order half a freaking watermelon for dinner? Not a chance. So people try all kinds of things. So did I. The point is you need something that's going to be sustainable, something you can build into a lifestyle and stop obsessing about food. I've been there. I've done it for over 60 years. So yeah.
Turning off the food noise would be an interesting transition. Awesome. Thanks, Debbie.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you for being our speaker today. And thank you, audience, for participating in the conversation and asking questions as well. So excited to have had you out, Debbie. And it was just an opportunity with the other speaker not being available to just sort of throw you in. But it really came down to your signature block. I've just always loved that line. I use it a lot ever since reading it with other people. And so therefore I thought the opportunity was just so good to be able to pull you out and make you the speaker today.
Thank you, Misty. I will say one thing about that. I took that from a fellow Rotarian many years ago and changed Starbucks to champagne.
Yeah,
So-
nice. Well, I think it's great. The whole the Anne of Green Gables way, imitation is the finest form of compliment. So I take it from you, you took it from someone else. I think it's great. All right. Thank you
They,
so
they, they
much.
say they say great was it good artists create but great artists steal. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there
don't
you go.
have to have invented it. You only have to be known for doing it. That's it. I didn't invent sales training. I'm just known for doing it. As a result, I am the greatest sales trainer on the planet, and Grant Cardone is the second greatest. He's just known by more people than me. It's only a timing issue.